Okay, hi folks. I love to promote Aliyah and people to come to Israel, and just you have to come to Israel for the right reasons. But nothing gets my dander up more than the harassment of Jewish women by Arabs. Now, of course, the Torah teaches us to be a nation that dwells alone and separate ourselves, and Jews should marry Jews. Of course, because we're such a small percentage of the world population, this would be a good idea to maintain, a Jewish presence in the world. And the Arabs here, what I've noticed is once some kind of a situation occurs, a murder of a Jew that lives in the Samaria region, Shomron, Judea as well, um, or something like this release of 26 murderers, terrorists with blood on their hands. It shows a weakness, and Arabs, they're a little bit like old school, and they're very tribal, and they see weakness as an opportunity to advance, and an opportunity to just in general um, move their agenda forward in several ways. And one of the ways is harassing Jewish women. So I wanted to continue this video with an article I saw that's most disgusting. And I'm going to go and I'm going to talk. I'm going to go to the offices of the mayor of Ari'el, the mayor of Petah Tikva. I'm going to go to the police station in Ari'el and talk to the gentleman there. And I want to understand what they're doing. So I will do a follow-up video related to this. But this is an article in Eretz Sheva, which I will link below, and also I'll put on the screen here. Samaria women, Arabs harass us on buses. Taking the bus home from work has become a nightmare, women tell transport minister. A group of women who live in Samaria have sent letters to the Minister of Transport, Yisrael Katz, in which they complain that using public transportation has become a nightmarish experience because of Arab harassment. Eretz Sheva has obtained copies of these letters sent to the transport minister and the mayor of Ari'el, in which women complain of sexual harassment on bus lines that go from central Israel to Samaria destinations. One woman, who we identify as Ayan, wrote, "Last Sunday I rode the bus number 186, from Petah Tikva to Ari'el, as I always do, on my way back from work, and after a few stops after mine, several Arabs got on the bus. One sat next to me on the front of the bus, behind the driver. It takes about 50 minutes at night, and these were 50 minutes of suffering." Ayan, who was seated next to the window, goes on to relate her experience. In the course of the drive, the Arab who sat next to me began putting his hands on me. Now, I will ask you folks, and you can tell me yourself, what would happen if a Jewish guy put his hands on an Arab woman? What would happen? There's a picture in my Jews Views and News group, if you go to the pictures, of an Italian gentleman, I don't know if he was American or whatever, he's an Italian name, who went into Gaza, and he's got his hand around, the big terrorist in Gaza, the head of Hamas down there, and he started dating Arab women. Take a look at the picture. See what happened to the gentleman. Okay, story continues. Time after time, I threw his hand off of me and I told him to stop. I tried to move away on the seat and get further from him, but nothing made any difference to him, and he kept at it. I felt frozen, and the fear took away my ability to get up from the chair and complain to the driver. This is really sad that women feel this type of fear. I just really hope that gals will take courses in self-defense, and I'm going to be doing a campaign on the bus stops asking the gals to take pictures of these men, email them to me directly from the bus, and we're going to get to the bottom of this situation. I don't like this situation at all. Ayan says, after that drive, which seemed to go on forever, when the bus finally arrived at the station in Ariel Junction, the Arabs got off the bus. A feeling of liberation surged to me at the same time. The tears began to flow, and it all came out in a burst of tears. Now, where the Arabs get off is they get off. You can look at it on Google Maps, right where Highway 5 turns into Highway 505, and it connects into the key car, which is the circle, which is, I believe, also Highway 4775, which is a road, really Road 4775, that goes up into Ari'el. But at this key car right there, it's where basically the Road 5, Highway 5, which is a nice highway, stops, and then it becomes a single lane, kind of like, state road, if you were an American, if you could relate it to a highway, to a state road. This 505 is a single lane each way, and the Arabs get off right there at this circle. So anyway, the gal burst into tears. How can one person demean and humiliate another person and hurt the other person's self-esteem and privacy in just 1 second, Ian asked, describing sensations and feelings of emotional pain that will remain in the heart forever. I mean, this is very damaging for these women. This is disgusting. Please, self-esteem minister, she asks, help me to prevent the next case. Do not let another woman undergo the same humiliation I did. The mother of one young woman who was harassed wrote to the minister about the incident on Route 86 from Petah Tikva. So there are these 86 buses. There's 86 goes to Petah Tikva. There's 186 a bus. There's 286 and also a bus 386, and they're Afikim. That's the bus line, Afikim. I'll put a link also to the Afikim website there. Maybe you guys can write. I'll also attempt to get the email for this minister, and maybe y'all can write to these people and ask them what they're doing and why there is a situation like this that is going unchecked. Okay. The woman whose daughter was harassed. On the 86 bus line from Petah Tikva to Ari'el, involving her daughter and Arabs, the Palestinian who sat next to my daughter began getting close to her and touching her leg. My daughter froze and pressed herself against the window, but she had a difficult time responding or asking for help at around the Gittai junction, where he put his hand on her leg and got off the bus. The problem is especially grievous when the buses run by Afikim Company, the mother says, are driven by Arab drivers who let the Arab workers on the bus themselves. Her daughter complained about the incident to her father, who is a driver at Afikim. The father's a driver, and the father approached the Arab driver involved because the daughter knew the bus or whatever, and he responded with near violence. Now I'm going to go by the Afikim bus line. I'm going to have a talk with these gentlemen because I'm not going to tolerate this, folks. I'm not going to tolerate it. Another mother writes, my daughter got on the bus. At the Arab sat next to her. When there was enough room on the bus for him to sit elsewhere, he pretended to fall asleep and rested his head on her, and she told him several times to stop, but he repeated it. The woman added often that Arabs who get off the bus ask the driver to open the luggage compartment in the back of the bus and make off with luggage that is not theirs. The Minister of Transport Bureau said in a response, the minister is aware of the problem and taking vigorous action to solve it by meaningful enlargement of the buses that drive to and from the city. Now, living here for 2.5 years, I can tell you that there are Arab buses, okay? I'll try to get some pictures when I'm driving and things along these lines if I can. But there are Arab buses. Most of them are kind of like vans type of a situation. And as a Jew, you certainly wouldn't get on one of these. I mean, you'd be out of your mind to get on one of these. So, but the Arabs are allowed, and these are not, Tudat Za'ut carrying, Israelis. These are Arabs that live up here in the Shomron that are, members of the people of, Jordan and the remnants of the Jordan occupation of this area before 1967. So this is the story on this. I'm going to follow up this video. I'm going to go talk with people in these various localities and government institutions. I hope to do this coming Sunday when I have some time off from work. And I really want to do my best to get to the bottom of this. I'm disgusted by it. We respect the Arab women. We don't touch them. Like I said, if you touch them, you probably end up your head cut off. But they're allowed to harass and touch our women. And I mean, if a Jewish woman is acceptable for this, lived in a mixed city, grew up here with the propaganda that's forced down their throats in our schools, and these mixed, camps and these outreach trips. And she decides she's in love with an Arab. I mean, I don't agree with it, but this is a free country. This is a democracy. So that being the case, but these buses, this is not fair for these beautiful, frum women, and I mean beautiful in their heart, in their soul, and in the neshama. This is what I mean by beautiful. Uh, these women that clearly don't follow by this green line paradigm, which I've driven, into the cities from up here, and I don't ever see this green line. I've been looking for it. I go through a few different checkpoints, and I'm always looking for this line that's green, and I don't see it anywhere. So for me, there really is no green line. For me, it's all Israel, uh, even expanded even further than Israel is now. And I'm talking about Judea and Samaria part of our country, but I'm talking, if you look at biblical boundaries, you'll see it includes a lion's share of the Sinai, and even areas that are on the east side of the Jordan River. So, I guess the east side of the Jordan River will be when Mashiach comes. I guess that's when we'll get it. Or if, a million Jews come here from America, maybe we can demand that territory back as we're expanding our footprint in the area. But these are biblical lands, our lands. We have a love, a faith, and an awe of heaven. The Torah was given, the 5 books were given to Moses. He just transcribed them as God dictated to him this information. The Tanakh, the books of the prophets, and etc., are all prophetic from the time when prophecy did occur in this world. And hopefully we'll see this type of prophecy again. And I will be talking and following up on this situation occurring, this harassment of beautiful, pure souls that don't deserve it.